All right, let me just move this intro and I just stopped the music. There we go. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I would like to salute the close to 20 people watching us over YouTube and X and Twitch so far. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Let me just make sure that we are recording and we got no audio issues or anything like that. Yeah, we are perfect. So welcome everybody to a new edition of The Lab. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. And let's move forward with the presentation. So huge disclaimer, guys, this is not financial advisory. You are 100% liable for your financial decisions. We are just trying to debunk the market with the tools available. And if they are not available, we are actually building them. That's the best route to take, right? If you're getting approached by somebody claiming to be a Davytech staff, which is asking you for 2 Bitcoins in exchange of 4, or ask you to invest into some kind of Davytech elite group or anything like that, that's 100% BS. It's just the WhatsApp group and the Discord, which are official. Also, if you wish to get hold of somebody, just ask for help inside the general chat, and you're going to see pretty much the red name, which says definitely that's a staff member within Discord. Moving forward, if we have any questions within the live stream, feel free to just write in the chat of the live stream, or if you wish to join as well to our Discord server, let me just pop out the link. There we go. It's also available nonstop within the description as well. I believe it's the first link, discord.gg/Davytech. Very simple, very clean. I also have a huge update in regards to Discord very, very soon at the end, close to the ending of the stream. Yeah, again, if you wish to join the conversation, even better, just connect to the Discord server and you can see ourselves in the Discord chat, on where you can use the microphone directly and chat with us live. If you do not wish to be recorded, however, just make sure to mention that, and I'm going to mute you within the live stream. Thank you very much for considering to tell me that before, in order for me to mute you, so we don't have to edit the stream and so on. Right, so today's agenda, very simple. Today would be the 8th of June, and we have a stacked agenda as always. Today we are going to revisit not really revisit, we are going to check out a new release from Yuli. In case you're not familiar with Yuli, he's an electrical engineering teacher here in the Eastern EU. He's been with us for the last 5 months, time flies. And he's been building indicators and very simple strategies for us. More complicated stuff, more in about math concepts, engineering style, and a little bit more complicated that we are used to with Davytech. And yeah, the schedule is as follows. Monday, it's a new release. Wednesday, we do have a very simple strategy review. Also, if you wish to learn something new about my local backtester, which has been doing great, we are also going to have a visit for that tomorrow, so Tuesday, and some more stuff at the end if you guys have any questions. And also, I'd like to announce something about Discord at the end. So, without further doing, Yuli, my friend, how are you doing?
Hi Vlad, hi everyone. All good for this week. It is raining outside, so this thing I don't like, but yeah, summer is coming, I guess. How are
Indeed,
you?
summer showers. I'm well. I cannot wait to see what you have been cooking so far. I know it's a little bit of quick release from you, but expectations are high as always.
Yeah, I mean we are just fine tuning the portfolio, I guess, right now.
hmm See what we're
So
missing
yeah,
and try to release
yeah,
something for the whole
exactly.
group, right?
Let's try to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it.
Just one moment. Also, I would like to salute again everybody watching us. Guys, if you wish to join the conversation, this would be the link discord.gg/davidtech. Very, very simple. Let me just make sure that I'm sharing Yuli's presentation. There we go. You can proceed, my friend.
Yeah, okay, good. So before we start, I was thinking to ask the community if they have any idea for the future coming from me. I mean, if you are thinking about some kind of topic that you want me to, I don't know, prepare like presentations or explanations regarding maybe, I don't know, Tradingview platform, like a beginner introduction into the platform, the interface, or something like that, or I don't know, maybe uh, trading content as general, like types of indicators or things like that. Yeah, I don't know. It just passed through my mind. So yeah, if you have any kind of idea, don't
Nice.
hesitate to tell us. Maybe we'll take into consideration for the future to have like a separate content regarding that. So
Awesome.
for now, yes, as you know, and Vlad already said, by Monday every week we are introducing a new indicator, and we are having some kind of presentation that, from my perspective, or at least I would like to think about it like a deep understanding of the indicator, how it works, what was the idea, what is the math behind it. So that way, maybe when you will start to play around with it, with the indicator or the strategy, you will get better results just because you understand it. And of course, you can better utilize it, to say it like that, like to know which kind of market, why in some kind of time frames it is behaving in some way, and things like that. So yeah, we are hoping these presentations are helping you um, about what we are building. By Wednesday, also, we are turning this indicator, I mean the Monday indicator, into a very simple take profit stop loss strategy, having in mind like two ideas. First is to see how the indicator performs by itself. And beside that, we are also give you like a first presentation of the indicator into the TradingView platform, how it looks, I don't know, what every input does, how to tune it, and so on. So yeah, it's more like a learning curve regarding what we are building. So yeah. Now, for talking about that, let's get into our indicator for today, the VNMS, the Volatility Normalized Momentum Score Indicator. This indicator is a deterministic close return momentum and regime signal engine. It does not classify trend from intrabar high or low structure, nor by multi-time frame request or forward-looking information. Instead, it measures whether close-to-close log returns are producing meaningful directional drift relative to recent realized return volatility. So after that, it compresses that drift into a bounded signed score and only publishes final buy and sell signals after, as were used already after threshold confirmation, optional filters, cool down, rearm handling, and so on. Um, the core idea of this indicator is that rather than asking whether price is simply above or below a moving average, the indicator asks whether the return stream has developed enough volatility adjusted directional pressure to justify an action signal. So the core engine converts close-to-close log returns into a normalized drift score. Then a bounded symmetric transformation maps that score into a stable oscillator centered around zero, where here we'll see that positive values represent bullish pressure and negative values represent bearish pressure. And of course, values near zero represent neutral or weak momentum. After that, the optional filter stacks does not replace the core signal, it only qualifies it. So the regime filter, for example, checks whether price is aligned with a close-only EMEA regime. After we have a regime persistence that reduces boundary flips near that EMEA, and the slope filter, which checks whether the score is still moving in the signal direction. We also have a volatility activity and anti-extension filters, which are available for stricter setups, especially on noisier markets. The optional adaptive threshold, it's also a feature of this indicator. So beside the fixed one, we have the adaptive one, which adjusts the trigger level so recent score behavior stay inside a user-defined bounds. So in order to implement this indicator, we have several objectives. So firstly, we have a close-to-close log return engine, so the model stays price scale independent and avoids intrabar high or low instability. Next, we have a volatility normalized drift metric so that the momentum is judged relative to the instrument own recent return volatility. An EMEA smoothing of the core drift metric that reduce isolated one bar noise before signal extraction. After that, we have a bounded sine score centered around zero, where positive values are bullish and negative values are bearish. We also discussed already about the protected dead zone and the effective threshold, so that weak impulses are treated as neutral and entries cannot occur inside the neutral band. After that, we have the optional adaptive thresholding, so the entry threshold can adjust to recent score magnitude and variability while remaining bounded. And of course, the optional regime persistence, score slope, volatility activity, and anti-extension filters for stricter signal qualification. Beside that, of course, the final buy and sell signals related to confirmation bars, cool down, rearm handling, so that reduce. So we are in that way we are declustering the signals and also try to reduce the noise. The logic flow behind the indicator, of course, we are starting with processing the data. So the first phase start with close price only. The indicator calculates close to close log returns. which avoids dependence on absolute price level and also avoids reliance on high, low, tick, or even intrabar behavior. After that, we have the core return and volatility, so that the indicator calculates the average log return and the standard deviation of log returns over the core window. This way, we create the foundation for a scale-independent momentum score. Next, we have the volatility normalized drift, so that the average return is divided by return volatility and the window length, so that this measures directional return pressure relative to recent realized volatility. Next, we have the smoothing and bounded score. So the raw drift score is smoothed with an EMEA and compressed into a bounded score, which gives the oscillator stable visual behavior and also symmetric bullish or bearish interpretation. We have the threshold and the dead zone. So the signal threshold defines the actionable zone, while the dead zone defines the neutral zone around zero. The effective entry threshold is always forced outside the dead zone. We also have the context filters. So before a raw signal is accepted, the enabled filters must pass. So here we already said that we have regime alignment, regime persistence, score slope, volatility activity, and anti-extension functions for the qualification as qualification gates. And of course, finally, the buy and sell signals. The math behind is quite simple. The main idea is quite simple. So firstly, we convert close prices into log returns. Then we measure average directional return pressure relative to realized return volatility. After that, we compress that value into a sign score. Then we allow signals only when the score and, of course, all active filters confirm the same direction. So firstly, we have the close-to-close log returns. So the engine begins with these close-to-close log returns by making trying to make the indicator independent of absolute price level. So, for example, a move from 1 to 10 and a move from, I don't know, 10,000 to 100,000 are treated as similar percentage moves. Next, we have the volatility normalized drift. So the indicator calculates mean return and return volatility over the core window. So we can see that the core return mean, it's the SMA of log return and core window, and also the return volatility is calculated as the standard deviation of log return and the core window. Then the raw normalized drifts are calculated, so we can see the core row is return mean over the return volatility multiplied with score of the window, the selected window. So this is like a compact signal to noise style estimate. Positive values indicate bullish return drift, negative values indicate bearish return drift. Next, we have the smoothing. So here the raw drift is smoothed and then bounded symmetrically. So we can see that the core smooth is calculated as an EMEA of the raw value and the smoothing function. And then we calculate the score sign, with, which is the previous parameter calculated, the core smooth, over the addition of score compression and the absolute value of the smoothed input. Smoothed input. So the bounded score is symmetric around zero. Positive readings represent bullish momentum pressure. Negative readings represent bearish momentum pressure. And of course, values around zero are treated as neutral. Then we have the fixed and adaptive thresholding. With the adaptive threshold disabled, the active threshold is the fixed signal threshold, protected so it cannot sit inside the dead zone. With the adaptive threshold enabled, the threshold is calculated from recent absolute score behavior. This allows the entry threshold to rise in very active score regimes and fall in quieter regimes while staying inside the configure bounds. So yeah, it's interesting to have these two features. So the fixed one and the adaptive one, you will see um, it behaves differently on type of market. So by Wednesday, maybe I will be able to present you different settings with maybe the fixed threshold, adaptive one, and some other settings as well, just to see how it performs. After that, we have the threshold confirmation. So a raw action is not accepted immediately on a simple threshold touch, but the score must remain beyond the active threshold for the confirmed bars, which is selected by the input. So on the buy side, the score has to be higher than the entry threshold, and of course the sell signal should have a score lower than the negative entry threshold. So the script uses Barsin's logic to verify consecutive threshold persistence. This way, we reduce one bar threshold pokes and keeps the signal layer cleaner. After that, we have the regime and persistence filters. So the regime filters compares close against close only EMEA using log distance. So here you can see the parameter is calculated as so the regime log distance is the logarithm of close over the EMEA of close and the filter regime length. So by alignment requires regime log distance to be at least the configured minimum. And of course, the cell alignment requires it to be at or below the negative minimum. When this filter is enabled, that alignment must last for the configured number of the consecutive bars before signals are allowed. After that, we have the volatility and anti-extension filters. So the optional volatility filter requires current realized return volatility to be active relative to its own baseline. So here you can see we have calculated the volatility ratio as the return volatility over the SMA of return volatility and the filter volatility moving average length. So the optional anti-extension filter then will block late entries when the recent log move is already too large relative to return volatility. So that's why after that we have calculated the extension score, which is the log of close over the close length and everything over core return volatility multiplied with square of length. So these filters are intentionally optional on Bitcoin and Ethereum. They may be redundant with default values, but they can help create stricter presets for noisier or thinner altcoins. And of course, finally, the raw conditions requires readiness, confirmation, cooldown, rearm permission, and all enabled filters. After that, we have the final buy and sell signals, of course, shifted by one bar. And as we are already familiar with that, we are giving you a first look of the indicator, how it looks in the Tradingview platform. So on this indicator, firstly, you will see the score line. So this is the main plot, the signed VNMS score. This value is centered around zero, bounded into a stable oscillator range, and interpreted symmetrically. Positive values show bullish pressure, negative values show bearish pressure. Of course, we can see around that the dead zone and threshold guides. So we have the zero, positive, and negative dead zone levels with white, and also the positive and negative active threshold, and of course the upper and lower symmetric context bounds. Also, the dead zone field visually separates neutral readings from actionable pressure. And of course, finally, the buy and sell signals, which are quite easy to see. So yeah, that's it about the indicator of this week. We'll see by Wednesday how this indicator is performing. We had some great results in the past weeks, so yeah, hopefully we'll have some good ones on this one as well. However, I'm not expecting like big scores since this is an oscillator. So yeah, we shouldn't see big numbers, but maybe some good trades. I would say. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you have any kind of feedback or maybe interesting in some kind of different topics or even different approaches, for example, by Wednesday to try maybe some other strategies. I don't know. For now, we want the simple strategy. We just take profit and stop loss so that the indicator, let's say, it's tested as clean as possible. So we don't want to alter too much the indicator performance. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you, everyone.
Great work, Yuli. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome to see the buy and sell tags. Was it difficult to find exactly the entry and the exit rules?
No, not really.
Okay, okay.
It's quite easy to do. There are like two lines of codes for that.
Not the making of them, but like finding exactly how the
uh,
indicator should work.
you mean the
The logic
logic
behind it.
behind it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, on this indicator, at least I spend a lot of time on, let's say, stress testing because it was firing too much for what it was supposed to do.
Okay.
So yeah, also that's why we have a set of filters that can be enabled. So by now, um, at least on the last, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 filters. So as I always say, we are still learning. We are trying to give you the best results and to combine the best algorithms and methods in the newest indicators, to say so. So for now, after I'm building the raw engine, to say so, the main the main algorithm. After that, I like to keep everything else as taggable buttons, to be enabled if you want it, but otherwise you can just keep the logic clean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
think it is more user friendly like that. Maybe you just like the raw engine, the logic of the indicator, and you don't want to add other filters or other things around it. Maybe you use other indicators as filters and so on. So that's why I'm trying to give some kind of space to use the what we are building.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Great work.
Thank you.
So, guys, if you wish to look at the second part of the release of this indicator, make sure to not do not miss the Wednesday release of the very simple strategy. I believe Yuli has explained a little bit better than me the whole point of the schedule for this week at the beginning. And yeah, that's it for today in regards to Yuli. Again, thank you very much, Yuli, for being here. And also, if there is any questions, so far just a lot of thank yous, and also for the 35 people watching us over X, YouTube, and Twitch. If you guys have any questions to Yuli, make sure to join the Discord, and he'll be more than happy to answer your questions. You can see the link on the screen. So, in regards to my side and the local backtester, let me just grab the focus very, very quickly to another screen of mine. If you do not mind, Yuli, to pause your screen because I believe you're still running it over Discord. Awesome, thank you very much.
Sorry.
No problem, no problem. Let me see. I already have that running. Let me also grab it for you guys for YouTube as well. There we go. So, in case you might be not familiar, let me just hide that. I'm also building a local backtester for a lot of very different indicators, and still trying to find new indicators over the web. And it pretty much started with the indicators that Yuli has built, the indicators that David offers as free, open source, over strategyfactory.ai, and the very best indicators over Tradingview. I believe if you go to indicators, then you go to editor pick or something like that, you're going to see the most highlighted, the best one, the most downloaded, however you wish to call it, the best indicators over Tradingview. And I just unlocked some more families of indicators. And yeah, so far we are sitting at 3,600, somewhere around that neighborhood of setups on which I have worked a little bit to have a little bit of a better filtering. I also have a version number 2 in mind, which is a little bit more familiar with Strategy Factory, and also some separate filters for the incubation and the backtest. So if you wish to focus on one of the two, of course, I think that some of the setups have about 1 month already of incubation, which is great. I started first with the cryptos. I suppose the crypto ones have a larger history than the non-crypto ones. But still, I mean, we can filter, for example, by the symbol. We can use an order as well. We can choose a tier list, which Claude has managed to frame each indicator in a tier list. And also, if you wish to take a look a little bit, I also added the small equity curve right here. I believe it's 1 week old, but still, we can pretty much have a rough idea from the beginning before actually opening up the setup. We can also increase by some more if we go to ATRs as well, which are not bad by any means. You don't have to focus 100% on the S tier. And yeah, I mean, this one unprofitable, which means that as soon as the backtest ended and the forward test kicked in, maybe had a couple of trades, which overall it's not in profit. So we can see over here negative 0.07% by using 2x leverage and 2% of available capital. So it isn't that much, in my opinion. Other than that, for the non-crypto stuff over here as well, let's see, also a lot more, like 3,500 on average. We can filter by the STR, we can hide the non-profitable ones as well, and also the idle ones. That's very important. I don't have yet a filter to show both profitable and the idle ones, which I believe that's very interesting to add in the future, but I believe everybody's interested in live trading. So I think we are pretty much good to go with as it is. Let's see, maybe we can order by the incubation profit high to low, or if you wish to have a even better equity curve like here in the pictures, you can go for the backtest because yeah, we have a lot larger price history, right? So let me just, I don't know, comment a little bit more about it. If you wish to submit some suggestions, I'll be more than happy to take those in. Feel free to email me at vlad@david.tech, because this is going to be released for David Tech as soon as we have some reliable tests in the forward testing. I've been chatting with some members, which they do have a significant amount of experience, way greater than mine, which is plain zero. To be honest, I'm 100% being honest here. And they told me that we need at least 3 months of forward testing and at least like 20 trades to make sure that we are reliable. Also, I believe I was a little bit too not too aggressive with the commissions and everything like that. So I might need to adjust a little bit. So for example, the forward performance, like for example, the 7.9%, that one at the top, it's a little bit too much because the fees aren't that much. So yeah, these are just things that we learn on the go from your experience, guys. And I believe by the time they do hit the 3 months mark of forward testing, we should be ready, like as a community, including us, ourselves, but also the product. So again, suggestions, please. This is pretty much for the community, not really by the community. It's mostly that Claude has made it, but let's put our input into it as well. Also, if you have any indicator that you wish to be added as well, and for me to test over the library of the price data that I have, I'll be more than happy to take your indicator as well. I believe that's pretty much it on the live backtester. Let me change a little bit to the presentation, because there's also something important, which I'm very excited actually to let you guys know, that we do have a Discord refresh, which should be kicking in by today or tomorrow, so in about less than 24 hours, on where, guys, you're going to see some more dedicated or focused rooms. For example, as you might be aware already of Trade Harbor, the best actually product around David Tech, in our opinion. It's pretty much the dashboard that we never had. And Fishing, Neil has done an amazing job. So we pretty much have decided, hey, let's just bring it up for the community. Let's highlight it a little bit more, because it's a huge, huge effort from him. And also the things that I think that 99% of the people don't even know about it. It's a great product. So why not just highlight it a little bit more? Also, we have Reed Moon, which he's going to share his insights about the David Tech bots, a little bit about the manual trading. He's been manually trading for a long time, so you can definitely learn something new as well inside his room. He's been conquering the top leaderboards of for copy traders within various exchanges. I do believe that you should at least check it out, and have at least a very good lecture about manual trading as well, and also check out his killer performance over various exchanges. Also, Yuli, he's be getting a dedicated room, the Algo Lab, or where he'll be sharing the updates, and we are going to have some Tradingview releases. Finally, they are coming, and expect some more details about the indicators there. You can also ask him questions directly. He'll be checking the messages and answer to you as soon as possible. Also, Rudy, he's been joining our Discord server as well. He's been doing some open source lately, which there is definitely a huge interest. I mean, the AI stuff, the MCP servers, everything in around that, and also the trader tools. He's going to build some amazing tools on which, why not? Why not visit it? You might actually save some money by claiming something which is actually open source rather than paying for a product. So if you guys have any suggestions for him, like for example, I'm having these notifications about trading news over my email. I would like something like that, but I do no longer want to pay for it. I would like to host it myself or something like that. Rudy is going to build it as soon as there is some community interest around it. And as well, a chat zone, some announcements for him regards to releases, and I'm very happy to see the Discord is getting a refresh. It's actually way easier than it was. Everything is within one place, the community chats, and that's pretty much it. So let me just move forward with the presentation, guys. If you have any questions about DavidTech at the end of the presentation, there is a small Q&A session. But before that, I would like to do a very short performance update. As you might be already familiar, we are pretty much in the top copy traders, top traders on various exchanges. You can definitely see some known names around it, like for example, Wen Moon, Reed right here. He's been killing it lately, so feel free to check it out yourself. Also, some of our traders have been notified that they are in the top 1%. For example, Fishing, the guy who built Trade Harbor, an amazing product in my opinion, the dashboard we never had, the best dashboard we never had actually. He's been notified that he's in the top 1.3%. So again, an amazing trader and also an amazing coder as well. Also, Reed himself, he's been in the top copy traders for a long time now. You can definitely see some crazy performance, 113% PNL, 66% ROI right here. So yeah, he's been doing very, very well. You can also check out their performance over Trade Harbor because it also has an API connector for your exchange in order to track your trades, or you can track the DavidTech bots into one place. So again, the amazing dashboard we never had. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for today. Let me check if there is any questions left. I believe we are pretty much good to go. I see a bunch of thank yous. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us today. Also, to the 40 people watching us over YouTube, X, and Twitch, feel free to join our Discord server for the tomorrow event, on which I'm going to speak about the Elite Backtesters update, which is pretty much the upcoming bots, like what's behind the bots of Strategy Factory, and they are going to be released in the end of the month or beginning of the next month. Depends really on the very first Friday, how close it is of the next month. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for today. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow at a similar time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Vlad. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Uli. Thank you very much.